Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball. Now today I'm giving you guys my next iteration into my weekly Q&A segments. We're getting real close to 50 and I do have something special planned for that. Nothing too crazy, but probably a very long Q&A. Hopefully we'll do that. We'll see how my schedule fits into that. But I'm sure not many people will be able to finish it. But if you do, I'll be impressed. But without any further ado, let's get right into this. Weirdest deja vu experience I've ever encountered. I mean, I can't honestly think of it. I have deja vu experiences so often that it's crazy. I don't know how many people out here have them so frequently, but I have them extremely frequently. So I can't really pinpoint exactly which one would be the weirdest. Popeye versus Beerus. Now this is a funny one. Beerus would win. And yeah, when he says Popeye, they mean Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye did punch, I believe his name is Bluto. Whatever that guy, the antagonist in Popeye. I don't remember his name, not like a Popeye analysis. He did punch him so hard that he went into the real world. So he pretty much crossed dimensions by punching him. But, he wasn't exactly killed or anything like that. So I'd still give it to Beerus, but that is an impressive feat by Popeye. So don't think Popeye is a pushover, because he can do some crazy things. Do you think Goku and Vegeta will attain higher form than Super Saiyan God Blue? Oh god, I hope people don't start calling it that. I don't like that name. I know Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan's not much better, and I know the narrator called it Super Saiyan God Blue, but I don't think that's gonna be the name. I know there's a lot of guys saying like, oh, this is gonna be the new name. I don't think they're gonna be calling that. That's a little bit silly. Yeah, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan's not much better, but it's, I think it's Super Saiyan God Blue sounds childish to me. I don't like the name, and if that's the name, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed, but I can't really do much about it. But will he attain Super Saiyan God Blue 2 or 3? No, I don't think they will. And if you could pick any DBZ movie character to make an appearance in Dragon Ball Super, who would it be? Love your videos, man. Well, I appreciate that you love my videos, and for a movie character to appear in Super, even though it's never going to happen, but if it did, Cooler is my favorite movie character, so I'd pick him to come back as Super Ultra Mega Diamond Cooler. We can definitely be seeing that in the future, confirmed. Moving on. Same question asked again. Broly versus
John Cena.
I definitely think that John Cena would take the cake here. I would definitely have to put my money on John Cena. Is Corey and the Pussy your best friend? Screw Corey and the Pussy. Moving on. Do the feats seen in Dragon Ball Super change your opinion on power scaling? Well, they don't change my opinion on power scaling. Power scaling is still a valid thing, but if you're talking about the GT versus Gods debate, that definitely sways things, because, and me and Geekdom are going to be doing a video on this in the future, but you have to think, Omega Shenron's strongest attack in Dragon Ball GT, the minus Karma Ball, the negative Karma Ball, whatever you call it, was going to destroy the entire universe over time. Goku and Beerus, when they collided their fists, were shaking the universe and evaporating the celestial objects, and the Elder Kai even stated that a couple more hits would have destroyed the entire universe. I don't think it's a close fight. I know that I was the guy that was I was pretty much leading. I don't want to take, be tooting my own horn, but I feel like I was one of those Dragon Ball Z YouTubers that was leading the charge for the GT versus Gods debate in favor of GT characters, because I did believe in what I believed in. I believe that the GT characters were stronger, and I still do stand by that they're stronger comparing them to the Resurrection F movie and the Battle of Gods movie. Here with Dragon Ball Super redoing a lot of things, those versions of the characters appear like they're stronger. As for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he didn't have to try against Omega Shenron. Maybe he can beat them. It's hard to say. It's unlikely, but it's a possibility, and, Goku in the GT still. And I know there's going to be guys in the comments saying like, oh, you did a 180, now you're just siding with the I've actually had a guy saying that I changed sides because I didn't want to be in a hate storm. I don't give a shit if someone's hating on me. I'll give them my opinion no matter what it is. The fact of the matter is there's more evidence now with these new feats, since we actually have feats to go off of for these god characters. And I've always said this, guys, that everything in Super is subject to change moving forward in the series. We can always see more impressive feats. Fact of the matter is, Omega Shenron's attack couldn't destroy the universe, you know, in a very short amount of time. Beerus and Goku's fists colliding could. I know that his Kamehameha, you know, his Kamehameha wasn't blowing up the universe. That is a little bit strange, but the fact of the matter is, if they use all their power, they would definitely be able to destroy the entire universe in my mind, and that's something Omega Shenron couldn't do. Like I said, Super Saiyan 4, Gogeta, questionable, but if you're in the position where you're going to deny the representation that we saw in Super and say Omega Shenron's still stronger, which I have in the past said, and I have no shame whatsoever changing my views. I've always said I have no shame being wrong or switching my opinion as long as I see valid evidence, and I see the valid evidence in front of me. But if you can't change your opinion from this, you know, for these new episodes of Super where they're displaying these strengths, then I don't know what to tell you, because the evidence to me, at least for me, is pretty clear, and I'm still going to have people hating on me, and that's fine. Screw them. But that's just the way I feel about that. But I still feel the same about power scaling. It doesn't really change my opinion on power scaling. Power scaling is always going to be a valid thing, but I don't think any amount of power scaling, like I said, even if you just go off that feat of Omega Shenron's attack, and even though GT had very inconsistent feats, that's still his strongest attack, and it couldn't do as much as Goku and Beerus' punches. I don't need to say anything else. Like I said, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is questionable. He didn't even try against Omega Shenron. He didn't even need to lift much of a finger to even injure him. He looked at him and sent him flying. That is what he did in the GT series. So maybe that's still a fight. Maybe it's not. It's hard to say how much stronger Gogeta is than Omega Shenron and how that would compare to Beerus and Goku. It's all up in the water still. I don't know. But if they're stronger than Beerus, if there's going to be someone stronger than Beerus down the line in Super, they're going to most likely be stronger than Gogeta. And that's my honest opinion on that. And, you know, I have guys commenting on my, I did a video a long time ago on is Gogeta the strongest Dragon Ball character ever, and I said he was. And I have a lot of idiots commenting on that video saying like, oh, you didn't take into account this from Super. I'm thinking, Super wasn't even freaking out. But I spent way too much time on this question, so I should probably continue onward. Sorry for taking so long on that, but I gave you an in-depth analysis. Adult Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks versus Golden Frieza. From what we see of Super, if Golden Frieza is going to be around the same strength he was compared to Goku in Resurrection F, then I don't even think it's a close fight. Golden Frieza. Rank these arc sagas. Hunt for the Dragon Balls, 21st, Tenkaichi Budokai, Red Ribbon Army. 22nd, Tenkaichi Budokai, Piccolo Daimao. 23rd, Budokai, Saiyan, Namek, Android, Cyborg, Majin Buu. Okay, the Dragon Ball Z arcs are a video topic. For Dragon Ball, I will tell you, my favorite is the Red Ribbon arc. My number 2 is the Piccolo Daimao. Then the Hunt for the Dragon Balls. 23rd, Tenkaichi Budokai. 22nd, then 21st. There you go. But the Dragon Ball Z ones are going to be a different one. My mistake on you saying that Galaxy instead of Solar System. Still, why didn't Majin Vegeta accidentally destroy a Solar System using the final explosion attack? And do you think Cell Saga Vegeta could have killed Cell using an attack, assuming he knew how to do it? Well, I don't think he could have killed Cell with this, and here's why it's this. It's a little bit, okay, it's kind of a little bit of a twisty thing, but even when Cell blew himself up, he didn't expect it to survive, and it was semi-perfect Cell, much weaker than Vegeta. Then he comes back, regenerates into Super Perfect. But the amount stronger Super Perfect Cell is, I don't think that Vegeta's final explosion, if he did it in the Cell Saga, I don't think that could kill Super Perfect Cell, in my opinion, at all. Especially considering the fact that Cell wasn't even phased by Vegeta's barrage of attacks. I know it's different, but his barrage of attacks against Cell did nothing to him, didn't even scratch him. So that's what I say about that. And in case you guys are confused of why he said Galaxy, he misspoke and said that, you know, Cell could destroy Galaxy, but it was a solar system. I corrected him. It's all good and all well and good. But I don't think it would be able to kill Cell at all. Bulma versus tights at basketball. Well, everyone knows if you wear tight clothes in basketball, it restrains you. So I'm gonna have to pick Bulma on that one. Bulma versus Jocko at golf. Well, I feel like Jocko would have the advantage in terms of the posture, so I would give it to him. Kenny versus Whis. I assume you mean Kenny from South Park. That is the only Kenny I can think of. So I would have to say Whis. Would you like it if who's had all kinds of super strong weapons like swords and the fighting stick thingies, or like the power pole could be made out of the stone metal that broke the Z sword? The Kenshin, is that what it was? Kenshin? I don't remember. Okay, I know I'm a big Dragon Ball fan, but I don't exactly remember the name of the metal. It was like Kenshin. Geekdom 101 knows it like by heart. He's the expert. I analyze the show a lot. I don't remember the name of that metal, but I'm pretty sure it was like Keshin or Ketching. It was pretty damn close to that. But would I like it if, I guess you mean like, do you mean if I had it, or if like the Z Fighter still had them? I mean, I'd like it. It'd be cool if we saw a Z Fighter still use weapons, because Future Trunks was badass. If that's what you're asking, but I'm not entirely sure what you mean. SSJ, Mr. Satan versus Rats. All jokes aside, with Hercule's power level being around probably a 20 or 25, 50 times that wouldn't even be strong enough. Well, actually, 20 times 50, that's 1,000. So if we say he's a 25 and multiply it by 50, then he'd be a 1,250. That's about Raditz's strength. He definitely would stand a good chance, but I feel like Raditz would be a better fighter. So Raditz would still win. That is a weird question. You are my favorite DB tuber. Actually, you're my favorite YouTuber. And I made my last question anonymous by accident. Well, I appreciate that, man. It's really nice to hear that there's actually people that think I'm their favorite YouTuber. I think it's kind of crazy. I mean, I do some good videos, but maybe it's just my personality. I don't know what you guys like about me so much, but I'm glad to hear about it. Definitely, it definitely is makes me happy. So thank you. Obligatory question about Broly. SSJ God versus SSJ4. Please watch Fairy Tail. No. Original joke about your age. I'm 19, so I'm gonna be 20 in wow, what's today? The 21st. So November 6th. I'm gonna be 20 pretty soon. Not a teenager anymore, etc. But in all seriousness, what level busters would you rank DB, DBZ, and DBGT villains? Moon, Planet, etc. Well, Dragon Ball would be Moon Buster because Roshi was a Moon Buster. DBZ would be Dimension Busters because of Gotenks. Well, if you really want to go as far as say Beerus, then you can say even more. But I'm just gonna go off the series. Dimension Busters. And Dragon Ball GT is Universe Buster from Omega Shenron, but it's weird because it's just a pollution of the universe. It's not even like out of raw power. But they're easily Galaxy Busters. They have to be, I would assume. That's what I would just guess. But GT's feats are terrible. Love your videos. Love all your content. Keep making them and keep calling Kwame ugly. Ugly bastard. I like the reactions of people. I like them too. Even some people think I'm dead serious when I rip on Kwame. Me and Kwame are like, Kwame's like one of my best friends. We talk all the time and people are like, oh, DBN hates him. Like, no! You not know sarcasm. The dude's awesome. He helps me with a lot of things and I've helped him with a lot of things. He's just ugly, that's all. Anyways, you think Guldo's freeze time ability works on anyone? like Boo, Whis, Beerus, Frieza, and Cell, pretty much anyone that's a lot stronger than him. I don't think it would. I've always thought it would not work on Frieza. There's no evidence to support it at all. It's not magic, but I just feel like it wouldn't work on Frieza. Honestly, I really just don't think it would work on Frieza. And I think the main reason, even though it's not magic, so it's a little bit different, I look at the Candy Beam against Vegito. Vegito's Candy Beam, or, the Candy Beam when it was used on Vegito, I think that's a decent amount of evidence, even though that could have been something to do with the Potara earrings and, the fact that maybe magic doesn't work on someone that's so much stronger than you like that. It's really weird to say, maybe the magic of the earrings protected him, but I really feel like Guldo's freeze time would not work on Frieza, and certainly not Cell, Majin Buu, or Whis, or even in Beerus especially. That's just crazy. I don't think so, but like I said, I don't think there's any evidence to disapprove that or to support it. But I want to know what you guys think of that in the comments, because that's an interesting one. If you guys have any weird theories about that, let me know, because I don't think it works on someone that much stronger. And maybe the same thing goes for the body change. Could he use the body change on Frieza or on Cell? I don't know. But I don't think Guldo's freeze time works on anybody. I don't think that. Plus, he has to hold his breath, so he's not going to be able to hold it for that long. So it won't really matter in that. I mean, what's he going to do? Skewer him with a tree? on Frieza? You think that's going to work? On Frieza? Yeah, right. Who do you think is the best dad in DBZ? Off the top of my head with no thought at all, probably Krillin. But that could be a video. But I don't know if it's really worth making one. Who wants to, or who win? I can't read, Jesus. Who would win? Golden Buu Gohan absorbed or Super Saiyan 3 Vegito? Golden Buu Gohan absorbed would win. Jocko after Forgotten No F versus Perfect Cell. I don't think that's a close fight. Perfect Cell. Why didn't Vegeta surpass Goku after DBZ? Because Vegeta trained all day while Goku couldn't train that much because of Chi-Chi. Because I don't think that the gap between Vegeta and Goku was as big. And they were stated to be equal in Battle of Gods, right? They're stated to be equal, and this is minor spoilers for the new film, but in Resurrection F, they're stated to be about the same. It's not outright said that they're equal. It's never really outright said they're equal, but they are about the same strength in power. But I just think Goku is a more efficient trainer. That's pretty much the honest truth. He's just smarter about his training, in my opinion. I'm thinking of starting a Dragon Ball YouTube account, but my video quality would be shitty. I don't know what should I do. What to do? Should I wait now? Wait or start now? Also, where can I watch DBZ subbed? I want to see now. I've watched the dub version. Well, if you get the Blu-rays, you can switch to subs, but if you should start now or later, you definitely should start doing, if you're going to do Dragon Ball Z YouTubing, start now, because after now, it's going to get even more oversaturated than it already is. When I started, there wasn't that, there was a good, couple handfuls of Dragon Ball tubers when I started. Now there's a ton of them, and it's going to be really hard for a lot of you guys to get a lot of views, and that's the honest truth. I might sound like an asshole. But if you're going to start now, and don't worry about your quality being bad. As long as you make sure, if it starts bad, just improve it, man, because people are going to watch it once it starts improving. I had people watching it when my quality was crap. I have a video that has over 600,000 views. It's an absolute crap video. But it's got over 600,000 views and people enjoyed it for some reason. My quality was shit. I used to edit on a cell phone. I had some really bad videos, and I am going to be doing a video looking back at those old videos, and they are terrible. But, yeah. But, probably, well, we'll answer these last couple of questions right here. How much stronger is Vados than Whis? If you guys don't know, that's the female Whis. It's Whis' twin sister, apparently, from what I understand, which is news I just came up on yesterday, actually. I've been a little bit lacking on the news department recently, and I am going to do a video probably when this goes up. I'm going to have one up the next day, but, you know, if you're watching this afterwards, it probably makes no sense me saying that. But we don't know anything about Vados at all, so... Super Saiyan God, Goku, and Vegeta, and Beerus versus Vados. Like I said, we don't know how strong Vados is at all. We don't know anything about her. From what I understand, at least. Maybe I missed everything. God Hercule versus Whis. God Hercule, obviously. But that's the last question for this Q&A. I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and I know I asked a couple of strange questions, but there is one that I really want you guys' input. I really want you guys to have an input on that Guldo question. Can Guldo freeze anyone in place? Can he stop anyone in their tracks? Can he do that to any character in the series? And could he, at the very least, can he do it to Frieza? That's what I'm asking you guys, because I don't really know. I don't think anyone really knows the real answer. Toriyama, but he probably forgot Guldo even existed, and he had, and even if he remembered, he probably forgot he had time, stopping ability. But like I said, that's been it for the Q&A. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later.